This is Mavericks All Access with Omaha Athletics, hosted by Anna Bellinghausen.
Hello, everyone. How we doing tonight? We good in this crowd here?
Yeah.
Well, welcome into another live edition of Mavericks All Access. We're kicking off with our fall sports show, first with women's soccer. Reagan Zimmers, Grace Ostergaard, and head coach Tim Walters. Everyone give them a hand. I guess there's nothing to complain or talk about because this team's undefeated right now. So how are we feeling?
Pretty good.
Yeah, can't complain, like you said. How would you assess the season so far, Coach, and just what you've seen from your team?
Yeah, it's been really good. We've had a little bit of everything. Had to come back a couple times to get results that we wanted. We've had to travel. We've gone some cool places. So, yeah, like they said, no complaints. We know the season doesn't really start for us until the conference play starts in about a week and a half. But it's been a good first month or so here for us, for sure. Yeah,
how important, though, are these, I guess, preseason games to kind of tune up your team and find what works and what doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, confidence is a really important thing. So obviously, winning feels good. It makes everybody feel good. So we want to be confident going into conference play. And the reality is that we got a group that's been together for a pretty long time. And I don't know that there's a ton of small things that we're fine tuning, maybe like some years in the past. So, we come out and we want to win these games, want to focus on that maybe instead of, okay, can we get better at these little things each and every time? We're out here to win some games right now. So.
Well, you guys are doing absolutely that so far. Reagan, I want to start with you. Defensive Player of the Week in Summit League. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Little round of applause for that. Only 3 goals allowed on the season for this team. What's worked so well with the defense?
Yeah, like Tim said, we bring a lot of relationships back from this past season. We added CC Barons, who's been through the positions on this team, but she's come in and she's done really well, starting next to me and stuff. But honestly, it's 1 through 11. It starts with the forwards pressing and it goes down to the midfield, and then the back line, kind of gets some of the glory with the shutouts. But honestly, it's across the field. It's a team game, obviously, and so those shutouts just show how hard we work defensively.
Grace, on the offensive end, where do you feel like this team has found its stride so far?
I think we've had a couple players that have been hot. I think Marissa Gore's been really well this year, taking chances, Alyssa Keller. And I think we finally found our groove, I would say, with scoring that we haven't really found in past years.
Well, this team knows what it's like to get to the NCAA tournament. You return so much talent and so many players. I think there's 15 on the roster that returned from last season. How much does that fuel this team, just knowing that you've been there, done that in the NCAA tournament, and you can do that once again here once Summit League play gets going?
Yeah, I mean, we for sure want to get back. I mean, it to be fair, it feels like a long time ago now. Mm-hmm. You watch what some of the other programs around us did in the past year, and we want to get back, obviously, and that's an important goal of ours this year. But we're going to take it one game at a time. I feel like there's some things in the conference regular season we'd like to do better in the regular season first than we've done maybe a couple in the past years. But yeah, we're hungry, we're motivated. For a lot of them, it's their last go around, and I think we want to end it on a really positive note for all of them.
Yeah, both of you are grad students, so why come back to Omaha? Why do this one more time?
Why not? I mean, I think we both agree we don't want to play soccer forever, and so in our case, we've had some really great careers here, and I think Gina and I both agree it was never a question whether or not we were going to come back. But honestly, this season has been so great. It's just 1 through 27, just a commitment to the cause, to get back to the tournament, and partly it's due to our group that came back, but it's a really big part of the freshmen that came in and made the culture what it is through non-conference, and we hope to continue it into the Summit League.
Yeah, you talk about culture, and I think that's just a buzzword around so many programs, but how would you define that for people of what the culture has been set at Omaha and with that soccer program?
Yeah, I think, culture, it can be defined in many ways, but, one thing that we really pride ourselves on is accountability and just keeping a standard. And so whether that looks like fitness, whether it looks like tactical stuff, whether it looks like leadership, we just kind of, like I said, 1 through 27, we really want to work on just driving those identities, those kind of non-negotiables through the whole team.
Mm-hmm. And being from Nebraska, too, did that play into just the pride of wanting to stay here for another year and, not look elsewhere whatsoever?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely wanted to stay here. I love it here.
Yeah, what were some of those biggest factors for you when you were in that recruiting process and looking at Omaha?
Probably just being close to family and friends, and I really love the coaching staff, and I've always wanted to play for Omaha.
Tim, how big is that for you to retain that talent in state. I mean, 11 players on your roster are from Nebraska.
Yeah, it makes recruiting a lot easier when you don't have to go super far. It's important for me. We want to keep the best players that we can around the area who want to play here, and it means something for them to play here. And at the same time, having their families close to home, having them here helps us not only with the players who are here, but we have some international, some players who are from pretty far away, and having a close-knit group of parents and families around here for them has really helped them settle into the area a lot. So it's been great. We want to keep that going. That's always going to be a goal of ours, to have about a half our roster from the Nebraska area who it means something to put on the Omaha jersey.
So we've talked about the 15 returners. Coach, how much coaching do you even have to do out there?
Depends. Some days a lot, some days not so much. I give the group a lot of credit, I wasn't feeling well. We went to Santa Barbara this past week, and I asked the group to help me through the game. And I was so impressed with their leadership and how they coach each other through the game. And I was able to kind of just sit there, and I wouldn't say relax, but sit there. And, you still have to do a lot, and they're still always willing to learn and want to get better. But yeah, the group makes it a lot easier right now that they've been around. And I mean, these two probably know what I'm thinking pretty much most of the time. So that makes it a lot easier.
Is he a relaxed coach?
Ask me after we have our first loss, and then I'll let you know.
See, he's all smiles right now.
Yeah, he's all smiles.
Undefeated, 2 ties, let's go.
Yeah.
But talking about leadership too, I mean, obviously both grad students here, how much have you taken on that role when you think back to your freshman self and probably the person you were then versus right now?
Oof, scary thoughts. No, I think G and I both, have seen a lot of growth, just not only in us, but in the whole team, and that nine seniors that are graduating and stuff. I think we can all attest to just how much they've helped us as captains, and how much this group just really loves to just play for Omaha and lead this team, and how much we can all just agree how far we want to go. And, still got a lot to do, but I think we're on the right track.
When you think about the process throughout the entire season, where do you feel like this team is right now in trying to get to that end goal? Obviously, Summit League tournament, NCAA tournament. Where do you feel like you are in that process, especially given how much experience you have?
I mean, I feel good about where we're at. You don't really know until you play some of those conference games, but I think we've tried to prepare them with a little bit of everything. Having to go on the road and play some challenging games on the road, and didn't do it on purpose, but having to come back and win some games after being down in the last 20 minutes. So I feel good about where we're at, but it's also accumulation of a couple seasons of a group that you kind of know what you're going to get out of them each and every week, and they're always going to give you their best, and they're always going to work hard. And we're not having to coach effort, and we're not having to coach competing, and that's a really nice thing not to have to deal with, and we're able to get the best out of them pretty often because of those things, when you always do those things right.
So no one's gotten sick of each other yet, is what we're getting at.
Not that we like to admit.
No.
Yeah. Utah was a stretch. 5 days on the road.
Utah was a lot.
It tested us, but no, we like each other for the most part.
So you guys got to go on some pretty cool road trips. Utah, California. Do you guys get to do anything fun there?
We went to the Narrows in Utah.
Yeah,
cool.
Zion National Park.
Yeah, there you go.
That was the coolest thing we've done, I think, in my time here, where you hike up the river and whatnot, and we took the whole team up there, and that was a lot of fun. And we kind of talked about hey, we're sacrificing our recovery a little bit because we want to go do this. Can we fight through our recovery on it? And they did a great job. I thought we were going to have to leave a couple of them behind. G wasn't really convinced.
I carried your backpack
she
for you.
She did carry my backpack for a little. I thought she was staying behind. I thought and then she changed her mind, and she came on the journey with us. But it was pretty cool to get to do that, and that was one of the more fun things we've done for sure.
Well, I want to talk a little bit more about awards and expectations. Reagan, you find yourself on the Mac Herman list. And I mean, for National Player of the Year, that is a huge accomplishment just to even be recognized on that list, let alone being from a program in Omaha and playing where you grew up. I think that is so special. What was your reaction when you found out you were on that list?
Yeah, I actually had to text my parents because they didn't know that it had happened, but it was during the workday. No, I'm just kidding. I just have so much gratitude, for the city, for this program, for Tim and the other coaches. Just feeling so blessed to get to play for a program in my home city, and putting the jersey on every single day and wearing Omaha on your back it's such a blessing, such a special moment. But honestly, it's a team recognition. It puts Omaha on the map, and playing at Notre Dame was cool, but we really want to just serve Omaha well. And so I think being up for that award, rather not just a personal achievement, but I think it just is such a great thing for the team and for this program going forward.
Tim, do you echo that too? And just you get to see the O on that list of all these powerhouses in college soccer.
Yeah, it's cool. They listed her as a midfielder, so that was a little bit of a wild card for us. But
One step at a
I'm ready to go back. I'm ready. Whenever you want me there, I'm back.
I know, and I bet you are. You ask me all the time.
Never know.
Yeah, for sure. And I just think it shows, like, you know, I don't know that Reagan could have imagined she'd been on that list as one of the top defenders in the country, you know, years ago, 6 years ago now, I guess it is, 7 years ago. So I just think it goes to show, like, if a player who works super hard and is super committed to the team and all those kind of things, like what you can achieve here at Omaha.
Okay, I was looking at some stats, and Grace, you played 1,564 minutes last season.
Okay, yeah.
What kind of shape are you in? That is crazy.
I would say I'm in decent shape. I hope.
Yeah, how do you keep that stamina up throughout the whole year, though?
Just a lot of working out on your own, going to play out by myself, and I don't know. Keeping a high standard, I would say.
Just running.
Yeah.
Just running.
She's being real coy with this. She's a monster.
Yeah.
She's a monster.
She's an absolute unit. Yeah.
I think she's played 90 minutes every game this year in the midfield. And to be fair, yesterday was the first time where I looked there and she was like, I'm tired. Yeah. It was hot, but you know, the work she does for the team, game in and game out, and I think she started, I don't know, like 80-something straight games right now, which is an incredible amount. But to just the fact that you can always count on her every single game is an incredible thing from her.
Well, guys, before we get to the fun stuff, the trivia, you have one more matchup against Colorado State before heading into conference play, which obviously we know is the most important part. What are some of those goals and expectations you put on this team as you kind of talk about going into that conference play?
Yeah, I think one thing that Tim kind of highlights for the season is don't get too high and don't get too low. So, you know, we're 6-0-2 and it's a great feeling, but none of those results matter going into the next game, right? So I think it's just kind of, you know, we have to travel again, but it's just focusing on that first 15 minutes and then the game after that. And hopefully we get out and we get some goals and we get some good defensive shapes and stuff like that. But it's just really focusing on that game and then we'll move on from there.
Is the end goal Summit League Championship? Is that where our eyes are set?
Yeah, I mean, if we're in this... Yeah, our goal is to win titles this year. I mean, 100%. You know, we want to do the best we can in the regular season, and most years I'll say do the best you can in the regular season, and then you give yourself a chance in the conference tournament. But yeah, I want to win the regular season. I want to win the conference tournament, and we know it's going to be a challenge. We have some good teams in our conference right now. Summit League's doing really, really well in women's soccer right now. But we got a great group, and I believe it's something we can achieve. So for sure, we're going to go for it.
Well, best of luck in the season, but more best of luck in this trivia game. So there's two whiteboards. Right under there. Right. And the players are going to be on one team, and Coach, sorry, you're on your own. The audience, maybe I'll let them help if they want. Depends how much you like Tim, so I don't know. I can't say that for you.
Please help me.
All right, let's hit the music, Austin.
Okay.
And this all has to do with Nebraska. Nebraska is the theme. Thank you, I picked it out myself. What movie did Nebraska native Larry the Cable Guy voice a character in? Was it A, Monsters, Inc., B, Cars, or C, The Incredibles? We ready?
Don't cheat.
I've already written it down.
Eyes.
All right,
I want to see if it was right.
flip them.
Oh, you wrote the letter?
You put letter? Oh, okay.
Is that not
It's
legal?
Cars. That's correct, yeah.
Wow.
Both are correct.
Good job, guys.
Everything's legal in this game.
Wait, was he Mater?
He was Mater.
Ah.
Bonus point for the players.
2-1, Tim.
I didn't know that was...
All right, next question. Who won the College World Series in Omaha this past June?
Oh, God, I have no
Grace is ready.
idea.
Is it A, Florida,
Oh, you spelled it wrong.
Oh, I
B,
didn't.
Texas, or C, Tennessee?
You spelled it wrong?
Well, why would you say that?
Oh, yeah. I know this, actually.
No, you don't.
I do.
You have no idea.
I think that's it. Is that not right? Is that not right?
That's correct.
Yeah, because the guys.
All right, we're tied.
The guys from St. Louis, they're coaches, so I knew that.
Okay. Tim knows some baseball, all right. How many states border Nebraska? Is it A, 4, B, 5, C, 6?
6 threw me for a loop there.
Ready? It's 6. Oh. South Dakota, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Colorado, Wyoming's probably the one you guys forgot about. Wyoming.
That's tough.
We don't like Wyoming in
No.
this.
Yeah, we don't like it.
Sorry.
We forget about him anyway.
This one I had no idea. I learned something new today as well. How tall does the landmark Scotts Bluff stand? Is it A, 800 feet, B, 1,000 feet, or C, 1,200 feet?
Scotts Bluff is a landmark?
It is a landmark in Nebraska. Yes.
Negative.
We don't have mountains here. We have the Scotts Bluff.
I don't even know.
How tall is it? 800, 1,000, or 1,200?
Yeah, good guess. You're the teacher. I feel like you should know this.
Yeah.
Both wrong.
Oh.
It's only 800 feet.
Oh.
You guys are giving it a lot of credit
Yeah.
there. All right, so it's 2-1
Yeah.
so far. Okay, we
Yeah.
got one more question, then there's a tiebreaker if
Okay.
that needs to happen.
Okay.
Nebraska is the blank state in America. A, 27th.
Oh, God.
B, 37th. C, 39th. Does anyone in the crowd know? Don't say it, but we're putting hands up over there.
What'd you put? I'm not going
Wow.
to change it. What'd you put?
Well, I put B, so I don't know if that was funny.
B is correct.
Oh, no.
So we're going to the tiebreaker. Tim's wrong. The 37th state. Okay.
8th grade
My
social studies.
tiebreaker.
Oh, gosh.
I guess I was not feeling nice today. Population of Omaha, including the metro areas. I'll give you a range, and you have whoever's closest wins. 900,000 to 999,099. 9.
We're putting any number in there.
Basically to 1 million. Yeah. From 900,000 to 1 million. So write the 9 first and basically guess all the other numbers.
I didn't write it very big. Hold on.
Oh, that's really small. I just realized. Can't really write. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's a good guess.
Oh, we guessed really similarly. Uh-oh.
Okay.
What is it?
I'll say the numbers. 9, 6,
Oh.
Yeah!
7, 6, 0, 4.
Yes.
All right, congratulations.
Players win.
Players always win.
The first
Yeah.
loss of Omaha soccer season just came at the hands of Tim Walters.
It's only me, at least.
True.
Well, guys, thank you so much for playing. Thanks so much for joining, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
All right,
you.
round of
Thank you so
applause, guys.
much.
Thanks so much. All right, next up will be men's soccer. We'll give everyone a 2 to 5 minute break, depending on how we're feeling, and then we'll get going. All right, welcome back, guys. Now joined with Omaha men's soccer, Donovan Dowling, Natasala, and Theo Klein. Guys, how are we doing?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Well, another great start to the season for soccer, 4-1-1, last ranked 7th in that West Region poll. Coach, starting with you, how do you assess the start of the season?
Yeah, one of our goals, we wanted to start strong, just from trying to get as high a RPI as we could, and we knew that we'd have some good early tests for us, but I think some of the continuity has helped. We have a lot of returning letter winners from last year, and it's been a good start, maybe minus our last game. We drew one. We felt we probably should have done a little bit better, but overall it's been good, but still, a lot of season to go.
Mm-hmm. For you guys, what do you think the start of this year has really taught you about the team you have so far? What can you kind of take away from these first few games?
Go ahead. We brought in a lot of new guys, a lot of freshmen, a lot of young guys, a lot of times to transition for, young guys from high school or academy to playing college soccer can be tough, but the new guys and the freshmen done very well so far. We as a team, I think we did a good job of embracing them, welcoming them, getting everyone up the pace, getting everyone on the same page, and I think it's been showing on the field. But again, like Coach said, we've still got plenty of season to play, so just got to keep it going.
Theo, for you, what have been your impressions?
We also have a lot of experience, so many returners, as the coach said, and we know how important that is for the season to start on front foot. We did a pretty good job, and I think we could do better, but still happy about the beginning and the mentality.
Yeah.
How the people showed up, that was good.
And when you guys think back to last season, obviously a great year for you, first Summit League title since 2017. Does that just fuel and motivate this team even more so when you think about this season and your goals?
Yeah, for us, every year we want to create new history, right? And so the better you do, the more difficult that becomes. And so you're trying to continue to grow, have a growth mindset within the program. And so it changes a little bit expectations, standards. It puts a little bit more of the target on your back. You're not surprising teams as much. And so, but I think the guys have embraced it, not rested on our laurels. We don't speak too much about last year or, kind of live in the past. We always want to be forward thinking. And so, we want to hopefully continue to build, right, and achieve new things this year that maybe we didn't last year.
Mm-hmm. And Nata, for you, just being a leader on this team, how do you kind of embrace that target on your back? You know that teams are looking at you and say, hey, this team won the Summit League. We know what they're capable of. Do you embrace that, and do you pass that down to the younger guys? Yeah,
I try to. It starts every day in practice, not taking any days off. Always whenever we step on the field, giving it all, giving 100%. And obviously me, with the leadership role I got in the team, I just try to be there for the young guys, be there for everyone, and help wherever I can.
Undefeated at home too, I might add. What has been working so well at home, and just with the increased fan support too, how much has that helped?
Our field is different from the other field in the country. We have a pretty good turf, and it's a big field, so we get used to, but by practicing on this field every day, so yeah, we have a little advantage compared to the people that comes in Caniglia. And then we have amazing fans. I recognize some of them here, so I hope they keep showing up.
Coach, what does that fan support mean to you, just to see that fan base just increase year after year in Omaha?
Yeah. I mean, it's something that certainly gives us is 12th man for us when we're there. We've had some really good turnouts this year. Our home opener was awesome and a really exciting game for sure. And so, as we grow as a program, I think one of the important steps in that is improving our match day atmosphere and attendance and everything that kind of goes along with that. And so. It's been a privilege to kind of see the growth and be a part of that growth, and hopefully we're not done.
Yeah, I mean, just your third year at the helm too. Do you feel like where this team's at right now and program in general have kind of fit that mold of where you want to go in its trajectory?
I mean, we always want to be, have a growth mindset. We talked about that today as a group of having a growth mindset, trying to become better each and every day, each and every year. We want to grow as a team, our expectations. And I think ultimately that's a good thing, is to not get complacent and not get stagnant. People can get stagnant if you have that. And so, look, we're gonna continue to try to keep pushing and, reach our potential each and every year. And so, hopefully we can do that this year.
All right, I want to dive into the personal journeys, because both of you are not from America, Germany and France. Let's start with you, Nata. You're from Hamburg, Germany. Where in the world did you hear of Omaha, Nebraska? How did you get here?
Well, I never heard about it before I got here. I got recruited by our previous coach, Bob Warming. He reached out to me, told me about the program, told me about Omaha. Showed me pictures of Omaha. Well, I did some research on my own, obviously, after he reached out. But he kind of introduced me with Omaha, and honestly, I fell in love right from the beginning. Even more so when I came here. It's just great people. They always say that people in the Midwest are down to earth, very down to earth, very humble, and. I only find that true. Since day one, everyone has just been so nice, and obviously the soccer community growing and everything. So Omaha has a very special place in my heart for sure.
I love that. Back in Germany, where did you find your love for soccer? Where was that first inkling?
Well, sports culture in Europe is a little bit different than here in America. we don't got 20 different sports that everyone play. Soccer is really the big thing. And my big brother played soccer, so I got to watch him doing it. So I just told my mom that I want to do it too. I signed up for a club and been doing it ever since.
So you never thought you'd end up in the middle of the country in America playing soccer for a Division I program?
Never ever, but tell you what, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, what were your first impressions getting to Omaha and just meeting people and seeing the campus?
Well, my very first impression, I remember that very, very good, was I was not familiar how hot it gets here in the summer and how humid it gets.
Yeah.
So when I arrived at the airport and I got picked up, I was like, what's up with the heat here? I'm definitely not used to that in Germany. But it's Omaha is a beautiful city. People here again are very nice, and the program is great. Obviously the university is great as well. So it's a very, very good place to be.
And so when that coaching change happened too, obviously you had a decision to make if you wanted to stay or you wanted to find somewhere else to go. What made you want to stay with Coach Dowling and what he wanted to do with the program?
Well, obviously after Donovan signed for Omaha, he reached out to me. We had a very good phone call. That was sometime in winter when I was still back home in Germany. And we had a very good phone call. He told me what he wanted to do with the program. And I was going into my sophomore year. I was just a freshman. I had only played one season. So only played a couple of games. So I felt like I wasn't done here yet. So I still felt like I had something to prove. And the combination with a good talk with Donovan made me stay here in Omaha.
You remember that phone call?
Yeah, I mean, when I took over, you're reaching out to everybody trying to get a feel. But I think it speaks both these guys were here when I arrived. And today's day and age, it's never been easier to leave, right? And to go and hit the transfer portal and do other things and not plant your flag, right? But both these guys, I think it says a lot about them, that they wanted to plant their flag and wanted to build something special instead of maybe going to some place that was already built before them. And so, it's a credit to these guys. And I think a big reason for our success is you have guys that want to be here, are bought in to the project and have ambitions of what they want it to be and are going to leave their mark when they leave.
All right, Theo, moving on to you. You're from France. Where did you hear about Omaha, Nebraska? How did you get connected with the city?
I hear about Omaha 1 month before coming when a coach called me. And I thought Nebraska at first was close to Alaska or those cold states, but absolutely not. And finally, I just fell in love with the state and the people here.
I love that. Yeah. How about you and your soccer journey? Where did you find your love for the sport?
Well, my dad tried to convince me more than once to do all the sports in the world except soccer, because we're from a place where everyone is playing soccer and sometimes it could be a bad influence. So, finally, I didn't listen.
Finally, you didn't listen, yeah. Worked out well.
Yeah, I'm really happy, sorry, Dad. I'm very happy to didn't listen.
So what were your first impressions getting to Omaha, Nebraska?
The people were very nice. I had the chance to know a couple of one French player and French speakers. So, they did a good job to put me in those conditions. And also, I came at the same time as the coach. So, he only saw me during the summer before I came in Omaha.
Coach, it's also a special privilege for you because obviously these guys sacrifice a lot, right? You're away from your family, you're moving to another country. How important is that for you and just implementing culture for them and making them feel at home here? Yeah,
I think we have probably the most diverse team on campus. We have guys from all over the world, from all over the United States, have a ton of local talent. We got guys who grew up here in Omaha and guys that grew up halfway across the world in such different atmospheres. And so it's one of our greatest challenges as a team is to kind of blend that together, but also one of our greatest strengths. And so for us, we're very, very intentional about how we integrate guys, how we integrate newcomers within the team, so that we can keep a group together, right, and keep a nucleus. And so I think we learn a lot about each other. We learn a lot about different cultures, and it's part of what makes football a really, really special sport. Is it's the world's game, and it's the world's language. And so it's a unique and awesome experience for a local kid growing up who's never played with somebody from anybody outside the state. And it's an awesome experience for these guys who get to come experience a new country, get their education, and really play a high level of soccer. And so it's something I think everybody who's a part of it remembers forever.
Yeah, how fun is it just with everybody from all across the world coming together on one team? How unique is that locker room?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I can literally say that I got a buddy down in Jamaica, another buddy down in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I got friends all over the globe now. So that's pretty awesome. And the locker room is always fun because you have so many different cultures colliding, and everyone brings something from their culture into the locker room, and we just joke around a lot, laugh a lot. It's great. So
the Heat was your biggest surprise. What was your biggest surprise, Theo, coming to Omaha? What surprised you the most about the city? Nothing?
Just a calm city.
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to be always back home in a city with a lot of people, a lot of noise, a lot of party. But it's good to be here and just chill and be focused on my game.
Okay. That's a fair point. There you go. All right, well, 2 games left before conference play hits. Obviously, the most important part of the season. What do you want to see out of your team in these last 2 to really set you up well for conference?
Well, yeah, two really important games. We have a big one tomorrow versus Drake. They're a good side. They're 5-2 this year. And so for us, it's continuing to build because we have a lot of returners, but we have a lot of new guys. We're still fitting the puzzle pieces together, still forming relationships. I think our lineups changed a little bit each and every game, and tomorrow will be the same because of different challenges presented by them. But for us, continue growing, right? We need to get better game by game, week by week. Ultimately, I think the goal of any team is to be playing their best stuff at the end of the year. When you get into a conference final and NCAA tournament, things like that. And so we just got to keep building, right? And focus on the process and not look too far down the line or too far ahead. Just take it game by game, session by session, and the results will be a byproduct.
For both of you, biggest motivation, biggest goal for the year?
After winning a title last year, of course, you want to do it again. But we have individual goals, we have team goals obviously as well, and one team goal of ours is to make it far further than we did last year. Yeah, we got a taste of how it is to play in a tournament. None of us had experienced it before. Now we know how it is, and of course, if you were there once, you want to be there again. And we don't want to go just to the tournament just to participate. We want to go there to actually make an impact, but. First of all, we gotta take care of Drake tomorrow, and if we keep working hard, I'm sure that the rest will follow.
Yeah, definitely winning titles. I think that's why we play this sport, and also seeing Denver be number 1 in the country right now just motivates us a lot because I don't see anything like they're so much better than us. I think we can beat them, so it just motivates us to be in the top 5 at the end of the season.
Well, I'm fired up. I don't know about you guys. So now we're going to play some trivia to get this crowd even more fired up. Can we hit the music? All right. More Nebraska trivia because it's my favorite thing in the world. Grab those whiteboards. You guys be together. Coach is on his own.
I'm going up against 2 internationals. I think this will be okay.
Yeah, even playing field right now. All right. Omaha native Terrence Crawford. He's undefeated as a boxer. How many matches has he won in a row? A, 36, B, 41, C, 52.
I know him.
Trust my teammate here.
I think someone copied me, but...
Yep, it's B, 41 matches in a row.
You see me writing.
Cheater, coach.
All right, this has to do with Omaha, so we're getting into the Maverick territory. What year did Omaha go to the Frozen Four in hockey? So not the Frozen Face-Off last year, the Frozen Four.
Yep.
Was it A, 2015, B, 2017, or C, 2021? All right, flip them. A, okay. You guys are good. That's correct. 2015. This one, if you guys don't get right, this team over here is going to be pretty upset.
Okay.
When did Omaha Volleyball play in its first NCAA tournament? The first one ever. A, 2023, B, 2021, C, 2019.
Oh gosh, I know they went last year.
I think I know.
When was their first?
It's their first year.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, flip them. No! It was 2023. Come on, guys.
That's what I said, right?
No, 2019 was
Ah.
C. Did you? So you knew that? What do we do here, guys?
Sorry, that's all right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's okay. We have a tiebreaker anyway. So, all right. Which Olympic sport held its team trials in Omaha, Nebraska up until 2021? So which Olympic sport was it? A, fencing, B, swimming, or C, boxing?
What was B?
Swimming. A, fencing, B, swimming, C, boxing.
You sure?
can you hear it?
He can't hear you. It is B. It is swimming, which is now held in Indianapolis. Fun fact for you.
All right.
All right. Another UNO question. What mascot name came in second place to the Mavericks in 1971? So the Mavericks were almost named this. Was it A, the Roadrunners, B, the Demons, or C, the Unicorns?
I hope it's not demons.
You say A?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look like an idiot if this was wrong.
It's C. That's
Yeah.
correct.
I knew that story.
He's watching us.
51 votes separated the Mavericks and the
knew that
Unicorns. That's pretty crazy. I'm glad this isn't Unicorns All Access.
Shout out Billy.
Unicorn.
Told me that story.
All right, so do we need a tiebreaker then? Is that what we're
someone
on
to
to?
win.
I
Right?
just won. No,
Who won?
me.
No.
Nah, he didn't win.
I say we go.
He didn't.
Let's go to the tiebreaker. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. As of fall of 2024, how many students are enrolled at UNO?
Oh,
It's between 14,500 and 15,500. How many students are enrolled at UNO?
say it again, please.
It's between 14,500 and 15,500.
Wait, don't say anything.
You know I have headphones, right?
Whoever is closest will win.
Is that a specific number? Is
Whoever gets closest to the specific number, yeah.
Say, just write a number.
okay. Wait. Let me think.
This guy.
All right. It's 14,972. So, Coach, you're closest there. Come on, guys.
You win some, you lose some.
You win some, you lose some. That's okay. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining Mavericks All Access. We appreciate your time. Thanks for playing. Best of luck this year.
Awesome. Thanks, Anna. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hopefully, you guys do better in the game than trivia. So.
Oh, for sure.
All right, guys, welcome back. Last but not least, Omaha Volleyball. Matt Buttermore, McKenna Rook, and Kaylee Jurgensmeyer. How are we doing, guys? Good.
Doing good.
We're doing great. Coach, we'll start with you. With non-conference play already underway, where do you feel like this team's at? What do you take away most?
What do we take away? We had high expectations this year. We still do. We've stubbed our toe a few times. We've had some good opportunities slip away in some of our early matches, and we're just moving forward. So, we're up 2-0 on Pepperdine a couple days ago. We got our win versus UCSB. But we thought we played a lot harder this last week. Wasn't really excited about our effort 2 weeks ago, but I thought our team really responded well last week, and we had a great trip to California. And, even we gave up a lead in set 3 that we should have won that set, but we bounced back and won sets 4 and 5. So I thought that showed a lot of toughness. And then, Pepperdine's a very good team. All their losses are to ranked and Power 4 teams. And, we kind of had them on the ropes and let them slip away. So that's, and statistically, we just need to win a third set is where we're pretty much at. Where we've won, I think, every other set this year. We just need to win a couple third sets and we'll be in much better shape. So, but overall, we've played some really, really good ball at times, and just need to, about 2 points better in some of these matches, and we'd be looking at a much different record.
Mm-hmm. McKenna and Kaylee, for both of you, when the results aren't necessarily there, but there's improvement game after game, is that still encouraging to you guys? Like, how do you take that into your mindset?
Yeah, I think it's definitely still encouraging. I try not to get too down on all the losses. I mean, obviously it's not fun to lose, but I don't get too down on it because I know the potential that we have, and it's kind of just putting it together for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think coming into practice this week, the energy has just been a lot higher because we did perform well this last weekend. We didn't necessarily get the results we wanted, but we did have a lot of confidence playing well against those bigger teams. So,
right, I mean, Coach, you don't do any favors with the schedule. You're not giving them all these easy matches, right? But that's by design and for a purpose. Can you explain just that purpose of wanting to test your team early?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's just the way the schedule works out, but we also want to be naturally competitive, mm-hmm. and we've made no secret about that. And we got to play these teams to put ourselves in a position to do that. And so, I thought, I really like our schedule. We have another, tough series of matches this week. Northern Colorado is probably one of the best teams we've played this non-conference. They're very salty this year, and so we're going to test ourselves. We're going to figure out. We've learned a lot. We've played a lot of folks. We've played almost the whole roster so far, and so we have a lot of folks that have gotten great experience, and that'll pay dividends down the stretch as we get in a conference tournament. Who knows what will happen. As the season wears on, and we do have good depth, and so we've gotten a lot of folks in, and people have had some big moments, some positive moments, and I think all of that will continue to pay off, and mm-hmm. we got to stay focused on the behaviors that will get us there. What is our identity, both individually? It's not first and foremost volleyball players, but individually, but also and then as a team, what behaviors do we want to focus on together? And that's true whether we're undefeated or we're 1-7.
And kind of starting with you, how do you start to define that identity for this team? Obviously, there's returning players, but every team's a little bit different year after year.
Yeah, I mean, after winning Summit for the first time last year, I think we're definitely looking to get back there and pull off another one. But I think we also realize each game is important and take it step by step. And we did get the chance to go to Italy in the summer and kind of get some team bonding in before the season, and that helped a lot with our relationships. And I think a part of our identity as a team is we're just very close-knit, and we like each other a lot, mm-hmm. so that helps us out. And I think we have learned that on the court we need to start working together a lot more, because no individual can win a volleyball game, obviously, so I think we're working towards that.
Yeah, you bring up Italy. Kaylee, how important was that trip to Italy, and not only, getting the newcomers in and, building those relationships, but also just having that extra practice and extra time together?
Yeah, I think it was super beneficial. We're strides ahead of where we were last year at this point. We have 5 new freshmen coming in, and it was awesome to spend 2 weeks with them in the gym and then 10 days with them overseas, experiencing something that I never thought I would be able to experience in my entire life. So it was just awesome getting to sit on a 10-hour plane ride and just talk to them and get to know them as human beings before we even got to know them as volleyball players and what they were going to do in the season. So,
what was the best part of Italy, Coach?
Well, not the 10-hour plane ride. The food was good. We had we had a match get canceled, but we had a great practice that night amongst the mosquitoes and humidity and just things like that. I remember we had a great meal at a farm. We had a cooking class that was a lot of fun. I'm a history guy, so it was really fun to see all those things that I've read about, particularly in Rome. And I think the Colosseum was really impressive for everybody, and really totally worth the trip, mm-hmm. And it really holds up. So just all encompassing. It was just a marvelous trip.
You were just geeking out at all the history, weren't you?
I was. I was.
Well, why didn't you mention that the team got to meet Jimmy Fallon?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Who
Were you in
noticed
the
him?
group? I can't remember.
Who got to meet him? Did you meet him?
Yeah, I
Kaylee
did.
met him.
Who pointed him out?
Well, we were just walking down a random alleyway to get to the Spanish Steps, and Morgan DeBow just starts freaking out, and we're like, what is going on? She's like, it's Jimmy Fallon! And then we just walked up to him and took a picture. He was super nice, so...
You weren't there, though?
No.
Are you jealous?
A little bit.
A little bit? That's so random. Why was Jimmy Fallon there?
He was meeting with the Pope for something.
I should have known.
I don't know.
That's amazing. Well, awesome trip. I'm glad you guys had so much fun, and I bet Jimmy is a huge fan now.
I hope so.
He better be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, well, coming back, getting situated back in America, preseason number 1. I know you don't love to talk about the target on your back, but there is. There's expectations, there's standards. Do you feel like that's something this team talks about at all, or how do you guys go about that?
I wouldn't say I feel like there's a target on our backs. I was actually quite, surprised in a way because I don't think we've ever been preseason ranked first.
Nope.
I was like, whoa, we actually got it. So I just like to hear that and just see how our hard work from last year kind of paid off towards those rankings. But, I mean, even in previous years when we weren't ranked high, I didn't really take anything away from it. So it's nice to be number 1, but I don't think it obviously means too much in terms of how we will do forward. Yeah.
So there's no underdog mentality, or do you still keep that? Even though you're preseason number 1? You still think like that? Like there's something to prove?
Yeah, I still think there's always something to prove. I guess I would say, yeah.
Coach, how do you take it? Do you address that with the team at all?
Do we even talk about it? I don't think we talked about it.
I don't think we talked about it.
We didn't talk about it. So
Only people like me have to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if all the coaches pay attention when they put their things in, so we just don't talk about it. We do talk about expectations. We have high expectations for ourselves, and winning the conference is a goal of ours every year, and going to the NCAA tournament's a goal of ours every year, and and maybe doing more. So those are our expectations, but we just don't get too wrapped up in the preseason poll until we hit a serve.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, going to the NCAA tournament, how much does that fuel and motivate this team to want to go back every single year?
I'd love to go back again. I think we could, if we were to go back again, I think we have a lot more to prove if we were to get that opportunity again. I don't know how to word it, but I don't think it was our best showing last year, but it was still cool to kind of get that opportunity, so it'd be awesome to go back.
Well, I want to dive into some personal journeys. So, Kaylee, for you, last season, you had an injury with your knee, and then you ended up actually coming back towards the end, but you still missed, a great part of that season. How has that factored into your mindset this year and maybe having a different perspective on the game?
I've been through a few knee injuries in my life, and every single time it happens, it's just it gives me a chance to step back and realize that everything can be taken away so fast, even if it's a 9-month recovery or a 6-week recovery, like it was this past season. But just knowing that you don't know when your last game of the season is, and I think it just motivates me that I want to be there for my teammates for as long as I can on the court if it does get taken away off the court, but just also knowing that there are different roles that I have to play. If I'm on the court, if I'm on the bench, even if it's in the locker room before practice, that there's all these roles that you can take on no matter what situation you're in. So.
And McKenna, for you and coming back another year, Coach always jokes that you're just like the old person on the team. You've been here forever.
Everyone jokes
You've
that.
said that to me twice. Yeah, you said it to me twice. You're like, oh, McKenna's been here forever. Why come back? Why do you want to still be a part of this program?
Oh my gosh. I figured you were going to ask something like that.
Good. Yeah.
Honestly, if you would have asked me 4 years ago, if I would be here, I think you can agree with this, I would have no idea if I would be here. Even 2 years ago when we talked about potentially coming back for a 5th year, I didn't know what I wanted then. I'm not the best at looking into the future. I'm very much stay in the now, which is kind of a blessing and a curse sometimes. But just like the women's soccer girl said, honestly, why not? I chose Omaha. A huge reason I chose Omaha was to stay close to home and be close to my family, and that has been amazing. I view my teammates as my best friends, and Coach was mentioning kind of identity. Identity. individually and as a team. And I think that's actually something that's meant a lot to me and I've learned over the years here. I think being at Omaha has allowed me to understand that I'm not just a volleyball player, and I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, all of that. And I think there's a lot of people here at UNO that care about me and all of my teammates as well, and just all of the student athletes. And I have coaches that truly care so much, and I don't think a lot of people can say that at other schools. And so honestly, I could not see myself anywhere else, and I think this was the best decision I made to come here.
Well, you can just play that to recruits. I think your job's done here. Just record that, send that over to Coach Buttermore, because that's a great recruiting pitch. I love that. And both of you are from Nebraska, too. How much more special does that make it, getting to rep Omaha and rep your state?
I mean, I love it. My family is so close here. Both of my older brothers live here, and I get to have my nephews and nieces at my games every single day. And so just having that environment, but then also like people from my hometown are continuing to follow because they know we're only 30 minutes away. So I think just having that community always backing you up, no matter if you're playing in California or playing at Baxter Arena here. So just having that community always around you.
Coach, you've seen volleyball in Nebraska from different points of view too, with Hastings and now obviously with Omaha, but how have you seen the sport grow in the state?
Oh, wow. How long do we have? I mean, I grew up here, so I've seen it all. Seen games in the Coliseum. I know all the coaches in the state. It's been fun to watch the growth. I mean, it's just made sense to me. So people ask me that question, I'm like, well, duh, of course it was going to happen. So I guess that's my perspective. Like, yeah, we have a lot of good people, training hard, playing hard, doing great things in the gym. Of course, people are going to be compelled by that and want to come watch. So, and so I think that's, to me, it's just always going to be a thing, and it was always going to happen. There's so many great environments in the state, from ours to the other Division I schools and the small colleges. They're drawing 1,000 people a night and things like that. So to me, it was just it was always going to happen. We just had to keep doing our job and loving the game and doing our best.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of doing your best, we have some Matt Buttermore trivia. You're not allowed to play, though, because this is your life, so I don't think that's fair. So we have two whiteboards. You guys are going to go up against each other. Okay. And Coach just gets to watch.
I thought this was about the program, not me.
No, it's about you tonight. First one. What position did Coach play volleyball in college?
Easy.
Oh, you already know? Just write it down.
He tells stories every day.
He tells stories?
When he was a
Back in my day? You do that to them? All right,
never.
Write it down for us. I'm not even going to give you guys options for these then if
I've never said the words back in my day.
That could be a lie.
Basically.
You're writing out the whole thing? Okay. Middle blocker. That's correct.
I would have said middle, not middle blocker, but...
So Kaylee gets a point.
Kaylee gets a point.
All right, Kaylee gets a point there. Matt is the judge as well, I just decided.
Oh, wow.
Really?
What degree did you get in your bachelor's, your undergrad? What was it in? You guys seriously know this too?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I forget it's multiple choice. I want to hear the
You want options? Did you already write one down?
Yeah, but
Okay, I'll give you options. A, sports management, B, communication, or C, English.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, okay. Can you tell us about your English degree?
I think English is a great degree. I had great professors. I lucked out. Learned how to communicate, learned how to write. So yeah, be an English major.
There you go. Okay, how many seasons did Matt Buttermore coach at Hastings?
No way they know this.
5, B, 7, C, 9.
I might guess it.
5, 7, or 9? Okay, flip them. 7, B, 7.
I knew it was longer than 5.
7 years. That's a long time.
It is.
It's a long time.
It's a good place.
Okay, I hope I'm saying this right. Buttermore went to the University of Findlay. Is that how you say it?
Findlay, yeah.
Findlay. What state is that in?
Ooh.
Is it A, Michigan, B, Minnesota, or C, Ohio? Kaylee looks pretty confident.
I don't know. Okay.
All right, flip them. It's Ohio.
Yes.
Did you know that?
I think so.
You think so? Okay.
How did you know that?
I have a weird memory.
Were you D2 or D1?
Volleyball, it's all the same for men's volleyball.
Oh.
Kind of like hockey.
I see. Interesting. Okay, this one you guys probably won't know either. What was his college team's mascot? Unicorns, that was outruled. Was it A, the Bobcats, B, the Oilers, or C, the Rebels? University of Findlay what? Bobcats, Oilers, or Rebels? It's B, Oilers.
You just guessed that? Yeah.
Are we tied?
I think.
Actually, Kaylee might have one.
Yeah, she might have the lead.
All right, well, Kaylee wins. That's all I got, guys.
Oh, yes.
How'd they do, Coach? Are you impressed?
I'm kind of surprised you know as an English major.
Everyone knows that.
Do they? I
Do
don't
you
know.
correct your
I make
grammar
fun
a
of you
lot?
all the time.
You used to.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, you just use big words that none of us know.
That is an English major for you. You're doing it. You're not a history major. You said you were geeking out in...
Well, I like history, yeah.
Okay. You didn't pursue it, though.
No.
Okay. What was your...
Who wants to write
You have a
papers about
master's as
history?
well, though.
In leadership, yeah.
In leadership. There you go. Great leader out here. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck throughout the season, and study up next time on Matt Buttermore, I guess.
Don't.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.